A chair is still a chair, even if it's no one sitting there. Man, I don't think they're gonna play this on Kitty Pink Radio. Send yours in. They'll probably play yours. It's your boy Big Rip, the thing, the culture professor. We in the streets, never industry. Kitty Pink Radio.
You can't tell me you ain't got no vagina. The vagina is a
Kiddy, you make it.
the vagina.
Kiddy, you make it.
Don't interrupt me. Let me finish. The vagina is a muscle, and it's just like this. If I go in the gym and I work out for a number of months, this shit right here will be flaccid. The vagina is a muscle. Y'all need to got Kegel exercises. They ain't got pussy weight.
All y'all remain the same. See, you make it sound like all y'all. This is what kills me.
Hello. It is another Wednesday, and it is noon o'clock. Y'all know what time it is. It's your girl, Kiddy Sings, along with the infamous 4-5. Back for another epic conversation. This is War of the Roses. Hello, 4-5. How are you?
Just dealing with the day. Dealing with
For sure. Everybody, please, we beg of you, if you are on this feed, please share. Make sure you're sharing. And also, for those of you who may want to support us even bigger, go over to YouTube. Make sure that you're subscribed to Kitty Pink Radio, as well as hit that notification bell so that you get a notification each time that we are live. And today we are live with War of the Roses. Today's particular conversation it's gonna go deep. All our conversations pretty much go deep, but this one right here is probably going to be a tearjerker. This is probably going to make you go and talk to your babies, and it's also going to make you rethink a lot of things. I came across some things, as always, when I'm online. I came across something that I thought was pretty interesting. This woman said that she didn't trust any male around her daughter, family included. She would not be leaving her children with any male, family or not. And for some odd reason, y'all debate about the weirdest shit. This became a debate. There were people who were asking the question. Hello, shout out to the magical lady Duchess. Y'all make sure y'all are following my spiritual mama on YouTube. Make sure you're following her on here. She can change your life. Anyway, back to what I was discussing. There were a lot of people were like, well, if you don't trust your kids around any male family members, why would you be going around them? And speaking from experience, you just never know. And I'm not saying that all we should, well, yes I am, we should keep our eye on every fucking body, from the males to the women to the kids, and hell, shit, teachers. Everybody, you got to have your eye on everybody nowadays. A lot of that don't get talked about, because back in the day, for lack of better words, it was acceptable. That's just what happened. You a girl in a male family house, you're gonna be experimented on. Me personally, that's how I take it. Anyway, shout out to my family, Drika the Boss. What's up? Thank you for joining in, y'all. If you're on the feed, please support us by sharing. She said no male at all. She experienced some trauma, most definitely, and a lot of female babies do. A lot of male babies do as well. They just don't talk about it. 4-5, you want to chime in here? I know I'm long-winded when it comes to this particular topic.
I don't know. I raised girls. I didn't.
It wasn't an issue.
Yeah.
I was. I don't know how else to put this. I mean, like, I raised girls and I hadn't seen them, and each one of them will tell you I hadn't seen them naked since they was 2. You know what I'm saying? Um, no, I'll take that back. One I saw by accident because I didn't know she was in the restroom, and the other one was years later, and I didn't know she was in my room.
Mm.
Okay, those are accidents, but they'll
Would you
tell you.
say would
Hmm?
you say we don't know the difference because of a lot of women have been traumatized with that particular with sexual abuse, touching, molesting. A lot of women have been they've experienced that. And would you say that that's why it we don't know the thin line between inappropriate and appropriate? Because I mean, if you live in the same house, if you're being a father, an active father, you at the house paying bills, watching your kids grow up, helping raise your kids, there are gonna be some instances like that where you might catch them coming out the bathroom or going in the bathroom. Y'all live in the same house.
Right.
So would you say that because of all the traumas spoken and unspoken, that that's the reason America seems to cringe when there's a father with his daughter in his lap and he's kissing her and holding her? For example, a couple of months back they was on Game about a picture with him and his daughter. Oh, this is inappropriate. A father isn't supposed to be, loving on his daughter like this ain't right. And come to find out the picture was appropriate. It's just a whole bunch of damaged ass women who don't know the thin line.
I think
Shout
it.
out to
It.
the Dame.
I think they. I think that it does in the way you put it. It does play into it, right? But a lot of. I mean, it can't. We can't ignore it. To I'm saying to an extent to say, oh, it's just a lot of women who've gone through a lot. Well, yeah, that's the reason why they would come from that standpoint. I'm not saying that it's right, but I understand why they would come from that standpoint because it is a lot of women who've gone through trauma and things. And, but I'd like to add to what you said there. It's not, see, the thing is, I think that the problem is that a lot of the times is that, we don't look, the protection of the children belongs to both the
Right.
mother and the father, the
You're
male
right.
and the female. It
You're
belongs to both. But in that, in saying that, I can't be upset, or it's not like I cannot understand why a woman would be def- it, I, I don't want to say defensive because I feel like that's like bad. It's like a bad word or something. But I can see why. But let's say overprotected.
right.
I can see that,
Yeah,
because trauma causes that,
most definitely.
right? If you're traumatized, you got one or two reactions. Either you're traumatized to the point where you'll let it happen again, or you ain't gonna never let that shit happen again.
Right.
Even in your eyesight, even in your presence, if you think that it's gonna go that way, you know. And I mean, with that, I mean, I guess, I don't know, man, because being cautious can lean to being overprotective.
Protective, but I mean, shit, it's one of them things you just can't. Man, listen, you just can't help it. You just. I remember me. I didn't let too many people change King's diaper.
Mhm.
Um, I was very defensive when certain people held King. Um, I was going through postpartum, at the time, and I think I was lashing out because of remembering some things that happened to me, and just so happened somebody handed my baby to somebody that I do not like, and I went and snatched my baby. I was furious. I felt I ain't never felt that angry before, and I done had some reasons to be pretty angry, but most definitely
Mhm.
that trauma can is I think they call it the
It's a
scare
trigger
tactic.
point.
Exactly, but they call it
Hmm.
something fight or flight. That's what they call it, fight or flight. You're either gonna run or
Hmm.
you're gonna run towards it and you're gonna try to defend it. Um, so like it's crazy. If it's never happened to you, then you really can't relate. And I want to say that to the people who were saying that, she's ignorant. Um, there were a lot of people that were just like, girl, you need to go get therapy, and people coming out of them situations need far more than just therapy, sweetheart. It's not that fucking simple. I'm so sick of
Because
the
it's
lack of
because
empathy.
yeah,
I wanted
there it
to read
is.
this comment.
Yeah.
I feel like if you do not communicate with that girl, you make them victims. We should be given the talk. And if you are actively there, you can tell who does that shit. She said, I sat on my daddy's lap. We hugged. He gave kisses. And then she said, I was told not to sit on any other man's lap. Same here. I can remember one time, and I sat on my daddy's lap. I'm a grown ass woman. I sat on my daddy's lap, and there were people that were looking like that's weird as hell. You know what I'm saying? But like I was saying, sometimes people like human contact is so fucking over sexualized. And
It is. It is.
we
It is.
the women who are victims are not the only ones that need some fucking therapy. I feel like y'all out there need therapy. If the first thing that pops up in your head when you see a little girl and her daddy sharing a kiss or her sitting on his lap, if the first thing that pop up in your head is that's inappropriate or you sexualize that, bitch, you need some help. Some of y'all need some help.
Mhm.
For real, because
Yeah. But I
that shit
mean,
be innocent. I ain't
I
even thought
understand.
about no shit like that with my daddy, and I wasn't in his lap like where his penis is. I was on his
Yeah,
leg. So, but yeah, go on ahead.
I can understand that, but because I have two god kids, and my partner Ron got killed in a trucking accident, and you know when shit like that happens, you just try to grab on to as much of your partner that you had. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
I was going around and checking on the god kids a lot, and I would go to like different little things that the god kids had going on, like if they had like a little sporting event or something. And my goddaughter, uh, from little, I held her in my arm. You know what I'm saying? From little bitty, and she's just like one of my daughters. Like when they all get together, they're like, you know, every time they see each other, even if it's been like a lot of time have gone away. I mean, apart from them, they all kind of still kind of click like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I never looked at her as anything outside of being one of mine. And after he got killed and shit, and I went to one of my godson's swimming meets, and my daughter ran to me, jumped into my arms, hugged me and stuff. And, we sat, we talked, and she sat in front of me. But, when you sitting in the stands, like I was leaned back, you know what I mean? And she came in and she sat like in between my legs, but not like she was not she wasn't leaning back or anything like that. Just like we were all like kind of bunched in. And that became one of the biggest fucking
Yeah.
deals. Like I hadn't been
And
able
you want to
to,
know what's so
I just said,
crazy?
fuck it. I just,
I'm so fucked up that triggered me. Just imagining her in between, that triggered me. I ain't gonna even lie to you. That triggered me.
Yeah,
So I
but
can see
when I'm saying in between my legs, it's not like she was like leaning back, had her
right.
arms
But
on
just
me,
just me
or
imagining that triggered me. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I can understand. You know what I mean. But it wasn't like there was. It would have been like if it was just one of my daughters that had just sat there,
Yeah.
but it wasn't like you know what I'm saying? Because I was kind of like, uh, I was leaned back a little bit like this, and because you know how the stands be. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you go to like a football game or something, you know how the stands are.
Yeah.
This
This
was
is
like a
deep.
swimming meet. It was in the yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so I
This is
leaned back,
deep.
and then when she said, "Huh?"
This comment is deep. I wanted to jump into it. Drika said
Okay,
human contact is important. The wrong minds will see what they experience. Dead on that. You hit the
that is
nail
that is that's
ass
super
on the
true
head.
right there.
Right, right. I
That's
know
super
me.
true right there. Because I'm only bringing it up because it still fuck with me today. Because like anybody that knows me that knows that ain't, you know what I'm
Right,
saying. But I can understand the perception, and
right.
then to the point where I couldn't be. I was mad at they mama for coming at me sideways about it because
Do
she
you
knew
do you
better.
know anything about her experiences though? Have you ever
But
talked
that's,
to her
but see,
about
that's
her
what I'm saying. At the
childhood?
same, yeah, that's what I was about to say. At the same time, I couldn't be too mad at her. I was just like, I don't know what she's been through in life. You know what I'm saying? But the thing that pissed me off was she had seen me around them.
Mm-hmm.
I've been around them. It'd be different if I wasn't around them and I just popped up and I was just like, oh, let me touch all on your kid. Yeah, I could
Mm-hmm.
see that. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I done fed them. They done, bitch, you came to my house and bathed your kids in my
It still
fucking,
bother you.
with my water, motherfucker.
It still bother you.
Yeah,
But
it
like
just
Drika
bothered me.
said,
You know what I'm
the
saying?
wrong minds will see what they've experienced. So I think we have to be
Yeah,
kind of tender on both ends of that spectrum because nobody wants to be accused of, something like that, especially if they're not nasty like that. And nobody, you know what I'm saying, wants to feel like, damn, I offended somebody I love because I'm fucked up. We just
right.
we have to be considerate and empathic to everybody because you never know what somebody's future is. A lot of somebody what somebody's past was. A lot of people just wear their pain really well and be walking around here like they got it all together. You wouldn't have even never thought, because I've heard stories from some of my family, and it's crazy to me how prevalent in how consistent the generational curse is. It
Hmm.
kills. I've had family members that I've heard stories from, and it's just like, he did what to you, or she did what to you, or you know what I'm saying? And it's like, damn, I looked at this person completely differently. So yeah, there's a fine line when it comes to, you know what I'm saying? I understand completely what this lady is talking about. There's a fine line when it comes to who in the fuck can you trust your kids with? Because the story goes even
Yeah,
deeper.
it
She had a
it
cousin,
is a
and
fine line, but
listen, let me finish. She had a cousin who was 10 years old. She was spending the night. They were having sleepovers. And she said that she was woke up oftentimes with this cousin fiddling with her breast or with his hands down her pants. And that went on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And at the time, she didn't know. She didn't know until she was like 38 years old that was sexual abuse, or that he
mm,
could have got in trouble for it. So, like, it's a fine line, man. It's a fine line.
it is a fine line. But that is, because on the other side of that line is gentlemen who are not
Like,
trying to.
yeah,
That's not even a thought in their mind, and they get treated like It is, you know, uh,
I get it.
it's very hard because I done been through. I mean, and I don't know of too many men who haven't been through something like that
Or
in some
question.
shape, form, or fashion, where they like, wait, I wasn't. I that was like the furthest thing from. I wasn't even, remotely even thinking like that. You know what I
Right.
mean? And
I heard one of
it
my
catch you
friends. I heard a close friend, and it wasn't that I was accusing them. It was just, a situation came up and they happened to be around when the situation came up. And I didn't have any understanding. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I always knew, like, if I was put in those shoes, I wouldn't have an understanding with anybody. So like I said, we both, everybody on every end of that spectrum, like, we got to provide some type of grace to each other. you know if I offended you, I apologize, I'm sorry, and open the way of communication, like, this is what happened to me, and that's why I went there with it. Because, like, you really don't, I like I said, I have family members I've known my entire life, ever since I was a little girl, and hearing their story, it shocked me, like, that happened
Mhm,
to you too, really? Y'all be
mhm.
surprised, and you be even more surprised. We're not even going to talk about how many women who've kept a secret. You be even more surprised how many men
Have kept a secret.
have kept this
Absolutely.
nasty secret. I've had a partner before that didn't even know that he was being molested. He just thought that,
That's
he
the way it was
handsome,
supposed to
he
be.
older, and he's supposed to
Mm-hmm.
be fucking on his mama's homegirls.
Mm-hmm.
Drika the Boss says, I was a
Mm-hmm.
victim. I did the shadow work, but we didn't have parents around to really be vetting and checking up on the situation. I had a favorite person who was accused of touching people. When I asked, he admitted he did that. He also stated he did that to them and not me, because he always felt like I would speak up. Wow. And most predators do. They most definitely prey on people who they think are weaker. And that's another reason why I'm so protective, because, you know what I'm saying? Although I try to teach my son about shit like that, who's to say he'd know if somebody violated him and be able to even say something to me? See, predators look at shit like that. But I'm gonna tell you like this, now,
Absolutely.
Debbie, don't play my baby weak if you're out there and you got some weird shit on your mind, because King don't let nobody touch down there. King don't even let me come in the bathroom with him no more. So don't play with my baby like that.
So but the predatory behavior, that's one of those. It's a very difficult thing to identify. That's the reason why I believe that's the reason why a lot of men, it's just easier for women to say, okay, well, this is the box that you're in, because
Yeah.
it's hard to identify, right? So it's just like we always go to the saying with Muhammad Ali and the 10,000 snakes, right? I don't know which one of you are good, so I'm gonna put all of you in the box of being poisonous, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same instance with predatory behavior, because just like in my instance, and I can think on many other instances that I've heard with gentlemen and shit, where, but I will tell you, I know, and I know that guys know this shit too. Any guy that's watching this shit will tell you this shit too. They can tell you who is the sleaze bag, or the fucking, you know what I'm saying? That, whatever term you want to call this predatory motherfucker. Most men can tell you, hey, they'll give you, hey, like, this motherfucker gave me a vibe that I didn't like. You know what I'm saying?
And you want to
And
know something
but
even
I think
weirder?
I
Thank you, Rolo. Rolo came right on time with that comment because I was finna go there. Rolo said it's usually someone close to or in the family. Most definitely. Right now, at my big age of 39, damn near 40 years old, I just deleted somebody that's close kin because they gave me predatory vibes. I have all this shit going on, and I'm gonna say this publicly because I want you to know I told my motherfucking daddy on you. I want to say this publicly. If I got all this shit going on, now I do know that I'm provocative. That's a part of the fucking entertainment business. I have to be sexy sometimes. So when you liking all my sexy photos, none of my accomplishments, you don't tune in to none of my motherfucking podcasts. You stay in my stories applauding me whenever there is something provocative. You're weird. You're weird as fuck. And I want you to know, because I'm sure you probably tuned in today because you're trying to figure out why you're deleted. I told my daddy on you. You're nasty. You're the type of person that I wouldn't feel comfortable leaving my child around. You have to be careful.
But this is another thing too. This is another thing too. We need to, yeah, but we need to. I think we need to do this with our children. We need to have. You remember, like remember like the little prevention shit, the little what's it, crime dog shit, and you remember all them things. I think we need to have like some kind of fucking preventive, like, campaign that goes on to teach kids, look, shit, if this motherfucker make you feel weird, or if you see this going on, or if this happens, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I just feel like it just needs to be, put more to light.
Which y'all should have y'all asses in school right now, but if y'all catching the show, anything that makes you feel weird, you're not feeling like that for nothing. And don't let nobody gaslight you, because people will gaslight you to make you feel like, oh no, that's not what I was doing. Bullshit. If you feel weird, if you feel different, goddamn it, go tell somebody. I'm gonna tell this story. There was a teacher that was at our school. He was an assistant teacher, and all the girls kept talking about how uncomfortable he made them feel. And nobody in the office said anything or did anything. And this motherfucker moved to a whole nother school district, and now he's doing time right now because that same weird feeling that we was telling you officials that we felt, he went and acted on that shit because he knew nobody would believe.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody is making you feel some type of way, you ain't feeling that way for nothing. And that's just that on that.
Huh?
Drika said they say comments like you going to have the dudes fall all over you. Yeah, loving like, no, that's not cool. And as a family member, you should feel like a fucking weirdo. You comment on me popping my booty. Fuck what you talking. I'm a grown ass woman. I make my own decisions and do what I want to do, you know. But when you family, you don't watch me grow up from a little girl, you should feel weird as fuck. The only videos or posts that you like are those of me being provocative. That's perverted. And I don't give a fuck. Nobody can make me feel differently. It's some nasty motherfuckers. That's why I'm like, I feel homegirl where she coming from. It's some nasty motherfuckers around here, and they right in your fucking face, sitting up in your face, and they know that you trust them. So anything weird or unlikely, it's not going to be believed. Drinker said the DA.
That's real shit, because you know what I'm saying? That's real shit, because Kiddy, no, I love her to death. I love her like my sister, and she'll tell you, I done play at many a time. I don't even look at them goddamn pictures. And many a times, if I come across it, I tell her on the goddamn comments, get your ass out the camera.
With me. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Shit camera. Like that. But
and we're not even blood kin. It's people that done put us together. We're not blood kin. And if you're doing that, then goddamn it, somebody who is that close kin to my father should not be either. You're weird.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's why I agree with you on that. That shit is fucking weird as shit. And far too often, and I'm not just listen when I say this, because I'm not just talking to one people here. Far too often in families, do we find that for some reason or some odd ass fucking reason, I don't even say that it's a protection for it, but it's like, that's what Uncle Charlie does. Or that's what Uncle Thomas was about. Or, you know what I'm saying? You don't,
There go that
and
thin line. You don't know if it's appropriate or inappropriate. This is my Uncle Charlie. He does supposed to love me. It should be okay if I give Uncle Charlie a hug and a kiss. Uncle Charlie just touched my breast, but maybe I shouldn't be thinking like that. Let me tell my mama. Mama, Uncle Charlie made me feel uncomfortable. Oh, it wasn't nothing. And y'all
that's why
bitches need to
most
stop
predators
telling
are
your
found in.
kids. Ooh,
Mhm.
come on,
That's
say
why
it.
most predators. That's why most predators are found within the family, because they. Well, I mean, but think about what you're calling them, right? If that's a predator, then there is prey, right? A predator, a predator. I mean, think about a wolf, right? A wolf knows its prey. It knows every move it's gonna make. You know what I mean? It plots on the shit. You know, then that's just a fucking wolf. So imagine what a human is doing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And
Secretly, without you knowing, without you, it's a blind side. You don't even know. And that's to the people that was on her ass talking about, well, if you don't trust your kids around them, why are y'all going around them, period? Because you don't know. You don't know if you're being overbearing and overprotective, or if there's even a reason to being overbearing or overprotective. Let me get off in these comments. I'm sorry, y'all.
she says people think you need to explain why you feel weird. Guess what? No. If I feel that, we remove that ass.
That
Okay,
ass.
I get it. I mean, that's just. I agree with that. I mean, I've said that a million times before. You know what I mean? If you got a weird ass feeling, why ain't you acting on it?
Yeah.
I don't understand that. If it gives you a weird this if I give you a weird ass feeling, like you probably you should tell me, hey man, nah, you can't be around here, because I know I do. I tell a motherfucker quick, hey man, you're fucking weirdo. I don't like this. Happy Kitty, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and I done told you I don't like the motherfucker. That's why you don't see me. You see what I'm saying? Like, I just don't. But I mean, I get it, but at the same time, it's just like, man, if you don't get remove that motherfucker,
Mhm.
you
Well,
can't
I
be
feel like
around here.
this. If one person is responsible for removing them, then I think everybody involved, because a lot of these people know for a fact what's going on, and the predator is invited to the barbecue before the victim is.
But I think a lot of times too, in this situation, well, with this, what this woman was talking about, because see, here's the thing: I don't know if she's single, I don't know if she's married, I don't know what's going on with that. But if that's her precautionary measure, like, who the fuck is anybody to say
Yeah,
you need
yeah,
to be examined?
yeah. Uh, I, I don't. Whatever. Gat. What's up? He said trauma hurts in all aspects of life and causes emotional scars. So as we all reflect on things that we discovered weren't right, we out against those things to ensure the next generation knows. Um, Dean said, yes, terrible thing that's been going on forever. Predators under our roofs. Drika said, my boys have told me they got a feeling. I removed the person. I don't care about your title or needing proof. She said, facts, Kitty.
And
I
your
want you to
kids
agree.
will tell you. Your kids will tell you every time. You know what I'm saying? Now, every now and then, you know, like your kids they may not like going to this person or something. You know what I'm saying? You really know they just your kids just like, shit, I just don't like this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times your kids will, if you pull that little motherfucker to the side, the kids, I don't know, it's just something weird. You should be watching this person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Kids,
saying? And
kids'
if
intuition is way stronger than ours because they're still in their
then
innocence.
yeah, yeah. But sometimes too, though, like my granddaughter, but she standoffish because she don't be around us that much. Different ball game. You see what I'm saying? Whereas if they around them or they know of them and they done been around them and they still the kids is still standoffish, like you gotta question that shit.
Yeah.
You gotta question what the hell is going on. Sometimes you got a kid that's just shy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't want to deal with nobody. Just real always stand behind mama's leg or daddy's leg. You know what I'm saying? But your kids will pretty much tell you, especially if they done been around somebody long enough, they'll let
Hmm.
you know. You
Yeah.
can tell it.
I don't like that person. And I was like that. I don't like him. I don't like him. Well, why you
Hmm.
don't like him? I don't like him. And that's all your child really should have to say on the cool. I wanted to bring this up too. I had made a post with, and it kind of goes along with this. I had made a post. Um, yeah, my trauma triggers me like a motherfucker. There was a guy that he inboxed me out the blue, and he said that, you know, watching me with my son turns him on. Now, I made a post about it and I said, you know, he may not have meant any harm, but it definitely triggered me. And one of the men in the comments made a point where he said, well, should us men feel some type of way when you women say it turns you on to see us being fathers? And I was conflicted. I was conflicted because it is a turn on to see a man being a father. Like I said, he may not have, it just triggered me. It made me feel weird. Like for that to be your opening statement. And at times I have been turned off by men who were attracted to me because I'm a good mother. So
Well, see, now that's well, I understand where you're coming from on that, but at the same time, you can't be. That's kind of unfair because you got to understand that a lot of men don't know what it's like to have a good mother.
And I get that because a lot of women are attracted to men being fathers because they ain't never had fathers. I get that completely. But in my defense, like I said before,
Yeah.
he probably didn't mean any harm, but it triggered something that's in me. And y'all know I'm very, very transparent. I don't mind letting y'all know, bitch, I'm fucked up. Some shit happened to me that fucked me up. So, you know, on that, that's why I say at the very beginning of this show, women who've been through some type of traumatic experience, there's a thin line when it comes to, is this appropriate? Is this inappropriate? So we have to provide them grace because you never
Hmm.
know. There are a lot of women who tote this around, and like I said, a lot of men who tote secrets around, and we have no idea. So
But I
yeah.
think but back to who this lady. I think her precautionary measure that she takes. I would like to. I would like. I think she's
Do you
got to
think
be
that's
single.
extreme? Do you
No,
think that's extreme? Okay.
no. I think she's single. She's single, and and what did she say? She doesn't allow the guy to babysit none of that shit.
None of that.
Well, I mean, that's her fucking. Even if she's not single, if she's married, if that's the precedent that she set in her house, then so be it. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure if her man said I got it, she might be hesitant, but she'll still go out. But even if she don't, if that's a precedent that she set and she don't make no qualms about it or anything, he'd probably go with it.
You
And
think
he
it's
should.
fair to say that a majority of relationships, um, they already be on a wavery type of what am I trying to say? They already be in trouble because a majority of women have been touched. A lot of relationships are already in trouble in the beginning because a lot
Yeah.
of women have been touched, or in some type of way a man that they trusted has already, you know what I'm saying, been disloyal or violated them.
That's relationships, period. Because
Because this is a
um
relationship show. We gonna bring it back
because
in.
because women.
Come on, Pastor.
women are
Let him use you.
what's it? There's a percent. It's like 70.
Mm-hmm. You the one
I
with all
want to
the
say it's like
statistics.
65 or 70%. I remember reading this a while back. That's why it's pausing me because I don't want to get it wrong. But it's somewhere up in it's above 50.
Mm-hmm.
But women are, you know what I'm saying? Like it's rare. And it's not just men that be traumatizing women. It be other women
It be
traumatizing
women
women
trying to
too.
tell me, yeah. Oh,
But 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 women, and I'm just
y'all seen
saying,
Sparkle.
like I'm saying females, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like women and girls, you know what I'm saying? Like the whole gambit, like in America at least, like there was a point in time where like, and I don't know how true it was or whatnot, but it was like 65% like women was reported like by the age of a certain age, they had experienced some type of assault.
Mm.
Whether and it may have been small to guys at the time, where there was just a dude walking down the hall. How many times, and I never thought about this shit because I'm a guy. I never thought this is like if it's just a smack on the ass
Mm.
in the hallway at school.
Shout out to the little boys that used to pinch my titties and take off running.
Yeah,
Sexual abuse.
grabbing booties and take off running. You didn't know that this girl,
Rape
her whole
culture.
life you didn't know that at home her people call her Fat Booty Lou. You didn't know that. You just every time you seen her, you grab her fat booty. You didn't know it was traumatizing the shit out of her goddamn ass. Everybody touches my ass, and she loses her shit. No,
Right.
fuck, I didn't know. I didn't know, but I'm not trying to make light of the situation, but it's
No, but
true. Like,
that's perfect for going into this next comment. And because I want to add something to it, it said, talk to these kids. Sometimes they can't explain, but you need to listen and you need to watch. What, how do you start that conversation? Y'all help us with this. Are y'all talking to your children out there? 4-5, what do you say to your kids about this? How to create some type of awareness or cautious, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you say to your baby?
I talk. Well, my kids are older now, so they pretty much they got it down. But back when they was younger, all the time, my biggest thing with my kids was to be as open as possible. You see what I'm saying? Like, and to a point where even when my kids was little, I would teach them to like point out people that they find interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm watching these people too. You understand what I'm saying? So
Gotcha.
I started my kids off at a very, very young age to be perceptive, observant, and you know what I'm saying, and cautious with
Mm-hmm.
things. Because I had a little brother, you know what I'm saying, that I helped raise. You know what I'm saying, and my little brother was really, my little brother was like he was one of them kids. Shit, you could tell him all day long. If a stranger offer you candy, he wouldn't even let you finish the sentence. I'm gonna take it.
Judge.
You see what I'm saying? And these words, like I remember just being younger. You know what I mean? And um, for me, raising my kids, it was always, how did I respond when I was younger to this shit? You know what I'm saying? So for me, any of the areas where it made me say, why are they telling me not to do this? Why are they telling? I realized being older when, raising my children, this is what my children taught me this, literally.
Mm-hmm.
Having kids, my children taught me this shit, that all the areas when I was young that made me question, did mama say not to do this? Or why did daddy say not to do this? Or, you know what I'm saying? It really wouldn't been, maybe it might not have been mama or daddy. Because mama or daddy, normally, if they say don't do some shit, you pretty much don't do it, right? You might not question it till you get older. You know what I'm saying? Other people, though, and it made me realize, I was like, damn, when you think about kids and you think about, the psychology of kids and shit, the shit that you tell them not to do, it triggers a question in their mind. Why? And as soon as they get down to that road, the likelihood of them like leaning over to see why the fuck they shouldn't do it is great. So instead, for me, it was, okay, at this point, I would have said, why are they saying not to do it? So I would find a different way to show my kids
Why not to?
how, or why not to do something, or I'd explain it to them thoroughly instead of just giving them the term. I'd give them the fucking, you know what I'm saying,
We
the
know you
definition.
long-winded as hell. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
You
would give them the
long-winded as hell.
definition on shit. Plus, I didn't ever want my kids to be able to say, Daddy didn't tell me. Daddy didn't
Right.
warn me. Because
Right.
I remember, and the reason why I say this is because there was a girl I went to school with who got assaulted bad. And I remember her specifically saying, my daddy never told me. My daddy never told me. You know what I'm saying? I remember that specifically.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's
I
for
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me personally, y'all know that I have a child because I want to add this. We're running out of time here. I want to add this for those of you because I know a wide range of my fan base are people who have kids who are either autistic or special needs. I still talk to King about it, whether he comprehends or not. I still talk to him about it. One thing that I've noticed about King is his privacy. He don't want you in the bath. He don't want me in the bathroom no more. He don't even like for me to come in there. Cause sometimes as a mama with our boys, you want to come in there and make sure you scrub the back of their neck. So he don't even like that no more. But I do have a conversation with him when I am able to get somewhere where it's a private time with him. I tell him, don't let nobody touch that. That's yours. That's King's. And I'm going to continue to repeat that to him until I know for a fact that he actually got it. I'm going to get off into these comments real quick. Why are we in relationships with people we can't trust with or around our kids?
We can't trust around our kids.
We don't know you. A lot of times you don't know that somebody can't be trusted. I've dated until I did a background check on this man. I didn't even know about his criminal record, but I've dated somebody who was a sex offender and I didn't know anything. You think people just gonna walk up to you? Hi, I'm a sex offender. I'm interested in you. A lot of times you just don't know. People are good at hiding. We have to stop asking those questions and really think before we ask that question. A lot of people are around people who they think they can trust with their kids. We talked about that at the beginning of the show. I said a lot of men have stories to tell, but they never told them. There's a lot of men walking around here with secrets. Shanika says she
But
hated
those
them little
same men are
terms.
walking around with this. That's to hit on that. Those same men are walking around with that stuff as trauma, and
that's why they mistreat
what I just. That's exactly right. That's why they mistreat them, or that'd be why a predator to get his ass beat to within an inch of his life.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Because please know this. Predators know this for sure. They know the kids that they can mess with, but they know who they can do certain shit around, and they know who they better stay their asses away from.
Yeah.
And 90% of the I promise you this, 90 to 100% of the time, the predator that's in the family, whoever that uncle, daddy, whatever that other man is, that predator knows that motherfucker will kill me. He stays as far away from that motherfucker as he can. You understand what I'm saying? He stays as far away from him as he can. And sometimes he may sneak up and get one of that dude's kids, but he gonna get killed
Yeah.
because he know it.
Drika said, I told my kids what happened to me, what the person said, and how they felt. Most definitely, y'all keep those communication lines. There's no right or wrong way to do it, but we just trying to give y'all a few examples. I have always explained why in all things to my son. That's what's up. I told my son, since my family will still have a person show up who has been labeled a perv, I feel like you can know if you are paying attention. Look at your family relationships, how they move around people. That mentally of do as I say, not as I do, is dead to rearing children. Most definitely.
Absolutely.
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 Hell yeah. um y'all talk to these babies, have that open communication. And is we always go in on women who are dating, single women who are dating, but a lot of times you have to worry about those in your family quicker than you have to worry about a nigga that, you know what I'm saying, you met and interested in making a life with. A lot of times you have to watch motherfuckers right there in your family. That's what this whole show was about. She said she wouldn't leave her kids with no men at all, in particular the men in her family. That is sad, and we need to change some shit. We're always talking about closing generational curses and the doors of the past traumas and shit like that. The only way we can do it is we got to start at the motherfucking head and start with yourself. I know for a fact, and that's why I'm so real with y'all. Which y'all know me. I'm gonna keep it 100 anyway. I have issues because of trauma. I will never deny that. But I'm also at a point in my life where I'm at the head of the snake trying to attack this motherfucker so I can kill the whole damn thing. Get you some therapy. Reach out to somebody. Bitch, if you need medicine, I get tired of black people talking about they ain't gonna take that medicine. And it's okay if you don't believe in that, but for those of you who do, get you some motherfucking medicine so you can help beat these motherfucking demons, because that shit trickling down to your kids. You so distracted with fighting your own demons, you don't even realize that Uncle Russell just touched Jimmy. Or Auntie Diana she showed taking a lot of interest with Cindy.
And what she's pointing out is factual. We've talked about this before. Trauma passes down through DNA.
And it starts in your womb, ladies, females.
It passes down
through. It starts through your sperm, fellas.
Exactly. So what's her name? Drika? Right?
Yeah, Drika the boss.
Yeah. What Drika was saying is definitely correct. What she's doing, she's taking her precautionary measures are, I'm going to talk directly to my kids about not only what happened to me, but things that could happen and how to protect yourself and stay cautious. And these are the things that I'm doing to make sure you guys are protected. And I want you guys to keep your eyes out so I can know that you protected as well. Because again, if trauma passes down through the DNA, if the mother does not explain to the child the trauma that she has been through, that the likelihood, listen to me, ladies, this is real shit. Trauma passes down to the DNA through the DNA. So you have to look at each one of your children on a scale. So if you were sexually assaulted, and this is the side where it could likely be that your child be sexually assaulted, or this is the side of the scale where that child would never even let that happen to him. If you don't tell that child about that trauma, you just flipping a motherfucking coin. But if you tell that child about that trauma and the things to watch out for, yeah, that one, you might have 3 or 4 of them. One of them might be susceptible to that type of trauma. But if you tell them and teach them and walk them through everything and all that, the likelihood of them experiencing that trauma lessens.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So everything that happens to us, I think generally, I think this is to ladies why you need your children need their daddies around them. Those daddies that are fucking responsible daddies.
So
Cause I
while
know
you
it's a
hearing
lot of
me
you.
read
I
this
Cause I
comment,
know it's a lot of you irresponsible motherfuckers out there. And y'all know I ain't talking to y'all. But a lot of you women need to keep your fucking babies, daddies around them because them daddies that experience trauma, guess what? They damn sure not gonna let happen to their babies. You can think that it's gonna be a different way all you want to, but it's the fucking truth. Cause understand what I'm telling you. I just told you one little thing that made me say I'ma always listen to my kids. Cause in my world, that was a traumatic experience to see that girl go through the shit that she went through, and her saying, my daddy never told me." But I've been through things in my own world that was traumatic to me too. And I too talked to my kid. Now, I might not have told him, hey, this is what happened to daddy, but I would say, hey, goddamn it, if you ever see this shit, you fucking tell me. Well, why? Yeah, okay, I got an explanation for you. I'm gonna tell you why you should tell me. That's my traumatic precautionary measure. You understand what I'm saying? But understand this, ladies. If you got trauma that you trying to protect your kids from, don't you think it'd be a hell of a lot easier for you to involve their daddy who might have had trauma that he also is trying to protect your kids from? Don't you think it'd be a little bit easier if both of y'all was working to keep that goddamn trauma from your goddamn kids? Shit. And I'm talking, and most of you motherfuckers know who I'm talking to.
Max
We need to do
Reno
better,
said,
goddammit.
when my mom, and this is a man, it almost hurt me just to read this. When my mom was in her addiction, I was about 7 or 8. Her friend used to make me play with her chocha. I didn't think anything was wrong with that at the time. That's horrible. That's
See?
horrible. That's horrible.
See? And this is this is Max talking.
Right.
So again, now I did say earlier that it's a healthy percentage
Oh my
of
God.
women.
This show might be going over. Oh my God. I got goosebumps. This is a Jesus. Y'all give me a minute. 4, 5, read the
I'll read
comment.
it. Kind of the same thing happened to me. Happened to Max. Happened to me, but it was a family's friend's daughter that was 8 years older than me. I was 8; she was 16, and had me finger her and touch her breast. They were nice people, so I never thought anything was wrong with it. Now I realize how how it traumatized me, and how I am with women now. Hey, man. Rolo, you're not alone in that boat, bro. You're not alone in that boat. I can tell you, man, look, I was 6 years old.
Mm.
I'm not going to tell y'all who or why, but I learned how to French kiss at 6 years old. Then remember the girl telling me, "Oh, you kiss good to be so little." And I remember going back into the room where my mom and daddy was, motherfucking in a goddamn weird ass daze on some weird shit, because some other shit went
It's
down
not
in that
funny.
goddamn room.
It's not funny. And honestly, just me giggling just now. This is why men don't like to open up, ladies. In
Well,
general.
that, and because men also understand this, men process shit differently. Because just like you giggled right there for men,
Well,
you
you were funny.
you remember me telling you the difference between comedy and satire? Comedy is just for shits and giggles, get you to laughing, and satire is when you're laughing to keep from crying.
Crying, yeah.
A lot of times men process shit as satire that ain't satire.
Mm.
A lot of times a man's reaction to some shit that, like Rolo said, like Max, they talking. I guarantee you, every other
And
dude that's
thank
on
y'all.
that's gonna watch this show in the future is gonna be saying some of the same shit. Like, damn, this shit did happen. I didn't
Thank
realize
y'all
how
for y'all
traumatizing to me
stories.
it was. Right, but I guarantee you this. I guarantee you this. That both Max and Rolo, as myself, we watching. We watch with our kids growing up. Hey, goddamn it, you know what I'm saying? Certain shit.
Yeah. Woo.
I knew of a sleaze bag in my motherfucking family. I knew of the fucking sleaze bag in my goddamn family. But I was too young,
Mm-hmm.
too scared.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This
That
has
motherfucker
been
know today. That motherfucker know today. Can't do that shit. But I was too young and too scared. But you know what? I goddamn make sure ain't gonna ever happen. Wasn't gonna happen to my kids.
you know what really,
As
really
best of my goddamn ability, it wasn't gonna happen to mine.
what really
And
boggles
that's
my
all I'm
mind
saying.
is the people that the offenders that come around and like how are you able to act so normal, like act like nothing even happened. I've been in the same room with motherfuckers a couple of times and they acted as though a motherfucker even tried to hug me. um and it's just
As
like
if,
I shouldn't
whatever do
remember
you
that,
mean?
or yeah,
Right.
like how do you do that?
What are you talking about? You remembering that wrong? No.
How do you do that? Anyway, y'all, this has been a dope ass show. Shout out to the men that were brave enough to share their stories. May God be with you, and I hope that if the healing process hasn't started, that it does today. For real, for real. Y'all talk to these babies. Like 45 said, ask them how they feel about such and such. Auntie Diane, how you feel about Uncle Todd? Like, ask your babies these questions. Um, Shout out to Drinker the Boss for adding what you added to the show on today. She said they be looking for new victims. The family wants you think that they changed, right? Not mine. Um, Shout out to all of y'all with stories out there that haven't been told. Um, I pray God brings you peace. I pray that the healing, if it hadn't already started, I pray that it begins. And I hope that you begin to comprehend and process that what happened to you is because it's not gonna happen to nobody else. We love y'all. We want you to love yourselves. This has been an awesome, awesome show today. Y'all tell somebody, tell your friends. This will be on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio. This will be on all the stations. Most definitely may run this back. Somebody needs to see this. I feel it deep in my heart. Somebody needs to see this. We love y'all. I want you to love yourself. 4-5, any last words?
Be safe out there.
For sure. We out, y'all. Peace.